Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Rothe. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your son, HD, and this week we watched Boy Kills World, starring Bill Skarsgard and H. John Benjamin. This film is a action film, and it is kung fu adjacent. It's action-packed, it's bloody, it's violent, and it's super fun, really funny, and overall, it's just, oh man, it was just super entertaining, bombastic scenes, fantastic fight scenes, and overall, it was just super enjoyable. Before I go on a whole tangent about why I like this film, I'll tell you why I like this film and more back at the house.
Now comes the hopper.
I don't like this plan.
You have reached your final destination.
Oh my God, no! I have information. I'm gonna help you. Stop!
Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, HD, and this week we watched Boy Kills World, starring Bill Skarsgård, H. John Benjamin, Jessica Rothe, and Yayan Ruhian, who is known for the Raid movies. He was also in John Wick Chapter 3, if you didn't know that. But also, this film itself is an action movie, very kung fu adjacent, which I'm a very big fan of, which I will get into later. But right now, I'm just going to jump right in and say that this film was super fun. I'm just going to say it. I am so sad that this movie bombed at the box office because it was so good, you know what I mean? It was really fun, it was really enjoyable, it was funny. Like, I don't know why it bombed. I mean, people are blaming the lack of marketing. Like, the film's marketing was very hands-off, and it was very bad, to the point where most people didn't even know this movie was coming out, and it made no money. And it's so sad, because this film is so, it just oozes with charm. It's original, it's fun, and it's like, you know, it's just a good action movie, and it's what I want in a movie like it. It's just sad that people aren't going to support this movie because they didn't know it was coming out, so it won't let other companies know, hey, maybe we should make action films like this. Maybe we should make them all bombastic and fun and creative. No. Because it bombed at the box office, companies are going to think, oh, well, being creative and, you know, being original, you know, that doesn't make us money nowadays. We need to make the most unoriginal, safe bullshit of all time. And that just makes me mad, because these kinds of movies making money isn't just good for the people that made it and supporting the people. It's supporting the industry, because it's supporting good movies. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry I got on a little rant here, but I'm just really mad that this movie bombed because it was a good movie. I don't know, man. It's just really disappointing. And you guys might be wondering, well, Ronan, why are you so passionate about this film? Why do you care so much why it bombed? Well, I'll tell you why. It's probably one of the best action films I've seen all year. And I know the year only started 4 months ago, but still, it's a really, really good action movie. And I'll tell you why. First thing, I really like the idea. So, Bill Skarsgård, if you guys didn't know, he is this deaf, mute, like killing machine, right? And the movie is in his shoes, right? He's the main character, but you may wonder, oh, well, how is he gonna talk? Because he's a mute. How are you gonna have a main character that doesn't talk, right? Well, they thought about that. Well, H. John Benjamin is actually his inner voice, the voice in his head that's like his inner voice. You know, that's how he sounds. That's the voice he gave himself. And I think that the film just really, really nails this concept. I really think him being like a semi-silent protagonist really helps, because he's not silent, and the comedy, like the jokes and gags you can get is from him being mute, and the only person that can hear him is him. Right, and that's, like, what's funny about it is he can say whatever he wants, because he's not actually saying it. He's just thinking it to himself, right? So, like, in the entire movie, he's just kind of, like, looking bewildered the entire time. And I just really think H. John Benjamin and Bill Skarsgård did a really good job at doing the boy, because that's his name. They didn't really give him an actual name. They did a really good job at portraying the boy. And overall, I just felt like I just really liked him as a main character, even though he didn't even talk, like, physically. You know, he had a lot of character just in his inner monologue. And overall, I just really enjoyed the story. And this is going to segue into the... I'm going to segue into the kung fu aspects of this film. So, you guys, this film is very kung fu adjacent because... This film is very kung fu adjacent because, like, it's a revenge story, one, and two, it's just the fights, to me, feel like kung fu fights. They're long, which I have always said, kung fu, like, fights are always so fucking long. They're super fucking long, and that's what I like about them, because they draw it out. They kind of make you think, well, is the hero gonna win? Like, you second guess yourself, even though it's an action movie and 100 times out of 10, like 10 times out of 10, the hero does win. Like, you're not gonna have an action movie where the hero loses, right? Like, that's just unsatisfying. But kung fu movies keep you guessing. They're like, oh no, is he gonna lose? He's getting his ass kicked, right? That's what I love about kung fu movies, is because they get invested. You know, you're on the edge of your seat during the fight. And during the final fight in this movie, I was on the edge of my seat, like, oh my god, are they gonna do it? Are they gonna beat them? Are they gonna beat him? He's so strong, they can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, it made me second guess if the heroes were going to prevail. You know what I mean? And that is investment in a fight. And that's why I love kung fu movies so much, because I get invested. And this movie got me invested. It had the heart, it had the soul of a kung fu film, not just because it was a revenge story, but because of the fights themselves and the formula that the fights had. Bill Skarsgård gets his ass kicked. He's not an invincible, whatever this is, you know what I mean? He's not Steven Seagal, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. He gets hit, he gets his ass beat, and he gets the shit kicked out of him, and that's what I love. I love it when heroes in action movies get their shit kicked in, because it makes it more believable. You know what I mean? If they're an unstoppable killing machine, that's fun, and if written well, it can be entertaining, but I just love it when the hero struggles. You know what I mean? I love it when they're kind of the underdog in the situation. You know what I mean? Because it makes you root for them even more. And I rooted for the heroes in this movie. I rooted for them. And I'm like, yeah, take them down. Take down those evil bad guys. Or, I'll get into that. Take down the bad guys. Take down the antagonist, I'll say. And yeah, the film just really, really got invested. And that's one thing that, as I know I'm saying that a lot, investment. I was super invested in this story. I was, like, super invested in these characters. I was super invested in the fights. And overall, and also, the fights themselves, obviously, choreograph-wise, they feel like kung fu movies as well. And overall, again, just the soul. To me, I felt like I was watching a kung fu movie based on the formula that the movie had. And I just really, really enjoyed that aspect. So guys, real quick, there are going to be massive spoilers for this section of the video. So I highly recommend this film. So go out, watch it, then come back. You've been warned, but here they are. So this film is essentially about Bill Skarsgård, right? Who, as a kid, his family was murdered by this evil, like, totalitarian dictator lady. And she killed his family, right? And he gets trained by Yayan, the guy I mentioned earlier from the raid. He gets trained by him, the shaman they call him. He gets trained in the like the jungles or the forests or whatever. And he trains him to be a weapon. And he's like, revenge, you will get revenge for your family. You will avenge your family, you know? And he's like, he thinks about his sister all the time. He hallucinates about her all the time, you know? And it's like, she's like a pretty important part of the entire movie. Like, she's there the whole time. And it's like, obviously, like, she thinks she's dead. And, like, obviously her, like, hallucination spirit is, like, following him throughout the whole movie, giving him guidance, you know, talking to him, kind of giving him hints about the truth, which is really interesting when you think about it, when you look back on it, and you're like, oh yeah, maybe she was hitting at a couple things there, you know, and you think about it. So then after that, he gets into a lot of fights. He eventually starts a friendship with this guy who's in the Resistance. He's his friend. Then he goes and meets up with this other guy who's in the Resistance. His like whole thing is that he can't, like, so he's deaf, right? So he has to read people's lips, to like understand what they're saying. So he can't read this guy's lips, so he's just saying like gibberish most of the time. He's like handbasket, cut off his feet and shit. It's like really funny and really ridiculous. And that I really like that character too. But overall, he's just trying to get revenge on this family, this like dictator family that like run this wherever they are. You know, they like run this place. Like with an iron fist. You know, he wants to take them down. And then he takes down the underlings, you know what I mean? He gets beat down, of course. They capture him, they want to kill him, but then eventually he comes back, he kills them. He kills all the like underlings. Also, Sharlto Copley is in this movie, I forgot to mention. He's a very small role, and he dies quite quickly. And his death is, like, his character is more of, like, a comedy character. You know, his character isn't very serious, and his death is, like, played off as a joke, because his character wasn't taken very seriously to begin with. But, yeah, Sharlto Copley was there. I mean, I like Sharlto Copley. I like him, like, in everything that he's in. I think he's a great actor. I really like him. I liked what he did. But he takes him down first, on accident, and then they take down, I think it was Sharlto Copley's wife, I believe, and she's probably the worst one, aside from the evil dictator. Out of, like, the underlings, she's the worst one. And she, like, runs the culling, like, propaganda thing. And the culling is essentially this thing where they gather up a bunch of enemies and they kill them. It's pretty simple. But then they, like, do all these ads. And that's where she wants to kill Bill Skarsgard, but then he comes back and he kills her, and he kills all of her goons, and eventually he kills this other guy who, I forgot his name. Sorry guys, I'm going off on a tangent here. But basically, he kills all the underlings, and then eventually he gets up to the big main villain, who is the dictator. And eventually it's revealed that this entire time, his family wasn't killed by her, he was her son, right? And it's this big reveal, and the shaman actually brainwashed him as to be like this revenge weapon, you know, as like a fuel to kill her entire family, for him to get revenge for her killing the shaman's family. And so his form of revenge is to kidnap her child, brainwash him, make him believe that she killed his family, so that it will give him fuel to kill his own mother. Which is also eventually revealed that there is a head of security who's like this motorcycle helmet wearing, like yellow leather jacket wearing girl. She is revealed to be his sister, who he thought was dead. And then eventually there's this big moment where the mother like reveals it to him, and then she's like, oh, it's not him anymore. It's not him anymore. He's been brainwashed. He's under a spell that can only be broken by the shaman being killed. And then she orders the sister to kill him. And she beats him up a little bit, but then she's like, you know what? I don't like doing this. So then she fucking stabs an axe through the evil dictator's head. And actually, it looks like she's smiling as she stabbed her in the head with the axe, which is a pretty good representation of that character. And then they fight and they kill all the goons. You know, they fight through all the goons. And then eventually they have the final battle with the shaman. And I will get into this. This is probably one of my... I know I got into this earlier. They get their asses kicked. They get fucked up. You know what I mean? They're bleeding everywhere. He has, like, cuts all over him. He fucking is all bloody. They're all beat out of shit. And I love that. I fucking love it. Because I love when the heroes get their shit kicked in the final fight. Because it's believable. It's the final battle. Of course, they should get their shit kicked in. He's the, like... Well, obviously, the shaman has reasons to do why he's doing, but then he kind of goes a little off the rails by saying, oh no, you have to kill your sister now, because everybody has to die. And he's going a little bloodthirsty there, and then they kill him. And then it ends with him and his sister riding off into the sunset, little fairy tale ending. And yeah, honestly, just overall, really enjoyed the film. You know, I just really enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it. If you're a fan of action films, if you're a fan of kung fu films, you know, if you're a fan of, like, just fun and funny movies, you can get a lot of enjoyment out of this film. And overall, I'd rate this film an 8 out of 10. Very, very enjoyable. Would recommend, and yeah, I think I'm starting to say. I think it's my piece. So guys, I hope you like this video. Share with friends, subscribe, turn notifications on. Comment down below how much you liked it. But you guys know how it goes. I didn't mean to say that. What I really meant to say is, if you guys hated this video, unsubscribe, dislike, tell me Jamie in the comments. I've been Runtime HD, off to kill the world. It's not a freeze frame ending, but fuck it. Freeze frame ending! By the way, guys, I forgot to mention, this film was full of total non-stop action. Just impacts everywhere. Just, dude, the amount of impact in this movie with the punches and the gore, man, it was insane. You were in the impact zone. To the 5 people that get that reference, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I want to be friends with you, but I never will, because I'll never see you, and you'll never see me. I don't know.